It's World of Warships Legends. Well, it's basically the Xbox One version that has landed in game preview. So I guess they're going to basically test it out a bunch and then release it eventually. So it should be noted that the game does not have achievements at this point. So generally you have your play option, a couple different ways to play, and it's sort of a structured leveling system in regards to unlocking the initial content. So you sort of learn things, you play a match, and then you're able to get access to the trees, the tech trees, and then the store, and then the different play options, and you kind of get more as you progress. So this is kind of what the store is. You get two thank you kind of bundles for checking it out at this point, and then the rest of the stuff is kind of unlocked through the gold currency. They've got memberships that you can choose to do. Silver currency is basically what you're doing for upgrading, and the gold currency is like an extra on top of that. So we've got upgrades on all the different ships. There's something like over 200 historic naval vehicles from all these different eras of sort of ship-based warfare. So you got the vehicle here, and then you're able to upgrade things. You got to earn XP on the ships, and then you can buy mods, and once you've got so many mods, you're going to be able to research the next sort of tier of ships that work out. If you've been playing World of Tanks on the console, because that's been out for a number of years, you'll be familiar with it because it is the same group, and they've just now taken the general concept of this one and ported over to consoles. See the different main ship era thing. And we're going to jump in and actually play a game. We're going to do against the bots because obviously it makes me look better. And we're going to take out the St. Louis and going to jump right in. Cool. So it's a pretty seamless menu setup. It's very clean. It's very easy to understand, and it seems to be set up, like I mentioned, in a system that sort of really shows off how to play the game properly, so you understand things. You get like a couple tutorial type levels, and then you jump into it. And the game is Xbox One X enhanced. It has HDR support, but it doesn't appear to be pushing for a 4K resolution at this point. It could change, but yeah. Generally, I think it actually looks pretty good. It's not to say it doesn't have a better resolution on the One X, but it's just, you know, it doesn't have that specification to it. So it's a mix of PvP, PvE, and yeah, different options depending on how you want to play. So you notice in the bottom right we have the kind of scale system. That's your speed, how fast you're moving, and then you kind of do it. Like, it takes time to stop your vehicles because it is supposed to be somewhat of a simulation type experience for your ship. You can see all the different guns on the bottom of, like, the middle bottom of the screen, and then you can see the yellow circles. You're kind of hitting those, the white spot. That's where you have the lineup with where you are shooting from on your ship, and that will adjust obviously how many shots you're able to pull off at once. Strangely, I find this more streamlined than the PC version because I have quite a bit of a, I don't know, I've done a couple of review stuff with the PC one. We did aircraft carriers, that was cool, and something the year before. But it just seems very streamlined and works very well on the console. I mean, it's been pretty smooth. I haven't noticed any performance issues, but it's not really a demanding game because it's just an open sort of thing. It is large scale. You can get up to 24 players in a lobby, but I mean, it's not exactly like a huge demanding game. So we got a bit of a zoom in here. So we'll notice that the guns, they gotta move, and then we're able to take shots. You do need to lead quite a bit, but I wanted to show off just kind of shooting over there. I might actually hit that. No, I overshot it. But you get different levels of aiming for everything, so you can shoot upwards, you can shoot over islands. There are a pile of different maps and different settings. So this one's more of a, I guess, like a warm type climate, but they have like glaciers you can shoot around, or more like city-based islands, and like the Pacific and stuff. It's interesting, just in terms of like what you can do here. So you can also have like the quick sort of shoot from a distance thing here where it's not aimed in if you'd like, or you can zoom in and get like a direct shot. The bottom left hand side, you see your ship's health, how much it can take. You can also turn on, like, put out fires with the fire extinguisher, because that's obviously going to be an issue. You can see this guy's like on complete fire here, and I believe that ship is absolutely dead. So we're going to turn our focus to the Phoenix. I'm getting one shot off there. Try to get like a good circle aim on this one. And we are on fire, as you can see. Just like a lot of dynamic combat in this one in regards to like taking damage and everything like that. I'm not exactly being strategic because we're playing bots, and I mean generally I really don't care in this. Yeah. I think if you're a fan of ships and this sort of like simulation style, I mean obviously it leans a little bit towards the arcade side just to kind of keep it fast and fun, but I think it perhaps does the best demonstration of this type of warfare. You know, doing the ship battles. So if you like that kind of thing, you're gonna really get what you're wanting out of this one. Because I mean, look at this. It looks pretty cool, right? The splashing and everything like that. It seems very accessible and kind of neat. And I should be watching my ship because I'm probably getting shot up, but I'm pretty deadlocked on blowing this guy up. It's not a big deal. Once your ship is sort of destroyed, you just get back out or you spectate the other players. And you can go play with another ship if you have it. You go to a different lobby, and then this ship will be available again once the skirmish has completed. I don't think I have any guns that are lined up for this one. I think they've done a pretty good job just kind of getting it going here. I'm very curious as to why they launched into game preview as opposed to doing a full release. I guess that's so they can have time to sort of redo things, I suppose, or something, but it seems like it's pretty well put together. Look at that beautiful ship destruction. You're also aiming to capture positions if you can. Oh, I got blown up. That's not good. Kind of see the rings. There's a couple different sort of game types, but it's generally always the same scenario where you're trying to capture the points or, you know, trying to kill the other opponents in order to win. And I mean, it's bots, so it's not really a huge deal. We'll do an actual match where it's a battle after this, but just quickly showing off the spectating so you can see different ship types that are going into combat. And they do a pretty good job balancing the selection of ships that are available, just so it is sort of an even battle. I mean, I think this looks fantastic, just the ships kind of like splashing and falling over. I quite like what they've done with this one. Oh, look at that. I think it's going to go grab them. Yeah, I don't think it's smart with a smaller ship. But we'll return to port even though this action is absolutely intense going on here. I think it's just cool seeing all the ships battle and blow things up. And it's kind of neat. So we return to port. And then we just jump into another match, which is kind of nice. So again, this is a free-to-play game. It doesn't cost anything. And you can just play with all the ships, and you do have to unlock things. Oh, whoa. Accidentally joined that. Am I able to back out? Moving past that, if it's gonna work. I guess we're going into this, whatever. Sorry. There are the different classes of ships aside from, you know, just the terminology of this, like tier 1, tier 2. You get like cruisers and battleships and just like all kinds of different boats that you want to fight with. It's kind of interesting in that regard. And you have to get like a commander too, and there are certain levels of personalization present in the game too. Just if you wanna, well, they're mostly you gotta like sort of rent them in this one, and then you can have like camouflages and flags and other weird things. It is showcased as like a bit of a strategy title, which I definitely suppose it is, because there is a sense of strategy in regards to you know, moving around, positioning the ships, and working together. So this is one of the situations where you are actually cohesively battling against the AI, and there is some dynamics in, you know, just in what you see in this kind of game. I think it's fun. If you played the World of Tanks game that I mentioned prior, which is actually really cool if you like tanks, I do suggest that one. This should feel very similar to it. Yeah, there's an overview camera too. That's with LB. Just get more of a dynamic shot of the thing. And then you can do RB, and you can kind of like do little chat things, like little highlights to let people know what's up. Yeah, thank you and stuff. Wilco. And yeah, that's generally the overview for that segment of it. And then you detect ships too, so when you see them, it kind of lets everybody know what's up. And then when you get to the higher tiers of ships. Oh, I can't believe I actually hit that. Things do get a little bit more complicated, just because there's extra layers to what the ships can do. I don't think there's really too many titles out there, at least not on a console at this point, where you go around and you do like the ship battles and stuff. At least not this generation. I haven't really seen anything. And this one definitely has been growing content up for years at this point, because it is, you know, basically a port from the PC version of the game. From what I understand, there's also no cross-play in this title at this point. I haven't really heard anything about it supporting that, so I don't really know if that's going to be a thing in the future. Let's blow up this ship here. But you never know, right? And I guess maybe people may or may not like that for this one, just in regards to like aiming and stuff, but I mean, kind of just going around on ships. You do have to watch out for the environment too, because there are factors of that coming into this. Oh, we're getting like side ones here. It's pretty dynamic, the side-by-side on this. And I say weathering as it can sort of alter the combat too, because there are different types of maps and they can have different types of weather on them, you know. It's not always going to be sunny days. Oh, see, we're getting like, we're near a bit of a town now. So you get to see that. Oh yeah, blew that guy up. Looks cool. You can see that on the side. So like cold and, you know, chilly with the icebergs, that might actually make a bit of a difference in terms of the combat. And you gotta know where to hit on the ships too, right? I mean, I'm just kind of shooting at ships just to cause damage and it looks cool, but if you are better at the game and you understand the certain complexities where you're supposed to hit on the ship because you're really tactical and interested in the game, you can cause more damage by being accurate to those points, which is a cool thing in World of Tanks too, because you could shoot at certain parts of the tank and it would just kind of like, you know, skip off of it or it wouldn't do as much damage. So it's all about lining up and just sort of understanding how your particular ship works, and then identifying weak points on the other ships to blow them up like that. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the visuals of this one. I actually really am. I think they did a nice job of transferring over the PC version and making it still look pretty good on the consoles. But I can't speak for the base version of the title, because I'm all in on the One X. So we're got half of them destroyed, as you can see. The top mini-map actually really helps quite a bit in the late game. So you see there on the top left, like the positions we need, and the players that are still in play, you know, the ones that have been detected and seen. And then at the top of the screen, you've got the lives that are left, you know, kind of get an idea of the damage and everything. And then the flag capture points. In the top right, we got some like ribbons and stuff. Very easy to understand. Very easy to play. And you can sort of select your ammo types too beforehand. I don't know if you noticed that when we were going through the skill tree type areas. Those are options that are present in the game. Let's see, can we get a... No, we can't see over this. You can look at the trees though. See, they look pretty good. I mean, it's like a very, very kind of set thing. Like, you're not supposed to care about the islands or anything, but it is nice that they have a certain authentic look to them. Like, I mean, they're not just ugly little things. They actually do have details and little towns and stuff going on. I mean, you're not really going to see any like action going on there, but they are present. And you can see your team results afterwards, how everyone did. And you can add to, you can have like a divisions in this one, which I guess are sort of clans, guilds, whatever you'd like to describe it. Yeah, mission, and then we get missions at this point, which are like another sort of layer on top of it. And you can take a look at the campaigns and missions. I really planned that quite well, didn't I? And yeah, they add ones over time. And these are more kind of story related, sort of. Oh, look, cool, loot crates. That's exciting. Credits, wow. And you can see I've got like the free XP bonuses. I haven't paid for anything in this one, so or gotten any codes. I just have all these stats based on what they give you for checking out their preview version. And it's just a way to entice you and get you addicted to the game. We all know how it works. But it is, you know, an enjoyable thing. Oh, we get some boosters on here. And I think we can go at actual ships and maybe do some upgrades on this one. No, we're not quite there yet. And then we'll be able to buy the install thing. It seems like you have a lot of silver at the start, but it does actually kind of, you know, it dies down over time. So we're going to do standard against real players and kind of show off what that's like. Let's do, I don't know, let's do something weird. We'll do the Chikuma. Should we, or is this one? Nah, this one looks fun. We'll take out the British ship. You know, for the Queen, stuff like that. So I hope this is kind of showing off the general context of what the game is. You get the PvP, you get the PvE, you get some like story type missions. And they're always adding new content to the game. It actually has been supported for many, many years on PC. So that's actually kind of like about time that it's made its way over. Because you would have thought after World of Tanks that maybe... Because I know that one was very popular on the consoles for many, many years. Definitely reiterated. Like at PAX, I went to like a boardroom meeting to kind of like... I don't think this game was shown, but... some of their other titles in World of Tanks was shown too. I think on the 1 for the first time or something. Definitely has been a while. So here's the British ship. And we are playing against real players, so I'm probably going to die pretty quickly. I don't know, maybe people on console aren't as experienced. They do have lovely sky boxes in this one with actual moving clouds. Are we moving? Or yeah, it's the clouds that are moving. I always like that about the wargaming titles, is they actually have authentic environments. Look at that sun. Lovely. It's a very cinematic type of game, just because there's not, like, it's slower, right? Well, it's not like a slow game, but you know what I mean, right? It's not exactly something where it's like you're running as a person and you're twitching around. It's not a twitch shooter. It's just going along on the water, shooting things, cutting through the waves. Like, look at how the ocean reacts to the actual ships, just kind of cutting through it as you go along. I think that's kind of really cool. And there's just enough detail in the actual rocks and everything to kind of make stuff look nice. And I'm not saying I'm a smart tactician. I mean, obviously not, because I'm going right down the middle. But I'm trying to show off as much actual gameplay of different areas as I can in this one. And that's kind of the goal. And I mean, you saw me destroy some ships in the versus the AI, so I mean, I'm totally awesome at this, right? Okay, so we've got detected there. So we've got a ship, obviously. I think they know something's up. And I'm trying to shoot at this thing. I don't know if they're shooting at me or just kind of shooting. Oh, there we go. That's good. Okay. Now we're on the side cannon, so we get some more extra shots going on here. Trying to mess this guy up, but we gotta also worry that other people are coming. See, I spend a lot of time actually in the aim system, which is not very smart because I'm not really watching what's around my ship, but I also don't really care because I'm just blowing up enemy ships. But you get that sense where it's like, you know, you can kind of be more smart and strategic. You can sit back or you can go in. And if you've played World of Tanks, that's something that's also mirrored in that one. So we're seeing my guns are not really aimed on this thing, but they're going to be. There's a lot of shots, but that also leaves my side really open to enemy fire. I'm going back towards my team, which is good, but I'm going to be getting shot at from the side, which is not ideal. But I think I can beat this guy out, especially with my team shooting at him too. So we'll see how that goes. I kind of missed all those, and I'm sorry to all the people that live on that island over there. And you can ram ships and stuff. I know we saw that earlier, but I didn't really specifically mention it. Yeah, you can go right into them. Maybe I can actually... No, that ship's dead. Look at that big explosion. That looks so badass. Anyways, that's World of Warships. I guess Legends, as they call it on this version. I don't know why the name changed. Maybe for Probably SEO reasons or something like that, but generally you get some ships, you get new ships, you go and you blast other ships, and then you collect more and you research more ships, and then you get some cool consumables for your ships, and you go, oh, my ship's cooler than yours. And that's generally what the experience is on the console. I think it's running quite well, it's looking good, and maybe they should have just fully released it. I don't know, the whole game preview thing's weird. At least they didn't charge for early access to it, because I hate when they do that. At least I don't think they did. I'm not sure on that one, but playing it as a free-to-play, so whatever.